Hello? Oh. Hello? Okay. Well, we heard something, that's for sure. And we heard feedback, that's for sure. Okay. Okay. This seems to be in working order. Speech chat. Do. Alright. I think we might play some Smite for a bit today.
Aries Ascending. Said nice ominous title, face with tears of joy, face with tears of joy.
Exactly. I thought so too. I was like, you know what? Let's act like one of those assholes. You know what I mean? We won't give the whole context. You'll have to show up to find out. Eddie-san. Konnichiwa.
Said, oh, now you wanna play Smite, face exhaling.
Gomen nasai. I need to stop.
Unbelievable.
I need to stop going to the gym so fucking late. I don't want to play Smite specifically. I want to play more than one game, of course, as always. But I don't have enough time for that. So we're going to... I think if we narrow it down to Smite... Between Smite and Battlefield, we probably get our best clips. COD, not so much of clippings. I mean, I guess there could be, but, you know, we don't. Zombies is just zombies, you know. I don't know. What is this? Open world.
Aries Ascending. Said you can get some good Smite clips if you play with friends instead of randoms.
Exactly. Exactly.
Said, but no.
Exactly. That's why I'm going to put Smite on pause until later, you know, when I can play with friends, of course. Of course. Of course. You know, that was just the intro to the video for later. You know what I'm saying? We're going to cut and, you know, paste. You know what we were thinking about doing.
Aries Ascending. Said until later when you play at 1 a.m. LOL.
Exactly. When everyone else is asleep. And then I'm going at the same problem again. Exactly. See, you know what's happening. You know, I really thought I was going to be, you know, getting online earlier last night. And then I realized... I had looked at my watch and was like, yo, it's like 10 o'clock. And I'm just getting in the gym. It's like, I feel like I drank this pre-workout like 2 hours ago. I don't know how long I'd actually been in the gym at that point. But I feel like I wasn't in the gym that long for that. I know I had the pre-workout to the pre-workout, if you know what I mean. And then, actually, you might not know what I mean by that commentary. You might not know what I mean. Stomach got a boat. And, you know, TMI.
Aries Ascending. Said you are gonna end up at the gym for 2 hours every time, LOL.
I feel like last night we were only in the gym for like an hour. You know what I'm saying? We was getting some good gains. We did some heavy upper body day, you know. Because we did, what did we do? Yesterday we did heavy upper body day. And then, what was yesterday? Today's Thursday. Sheesh! We did heavy upper body yesterday. We did legs on Tuesday. We did upper body cables on Monday. We're going to do legs today, even though my legs are kind of sore. So I don't know exactly what we're going to do for legs, but I think we're going to do... Because I leg pressed the other day. So we're not going to leg press again this week. Or at least not today. It's getting too much pain on the knee.
Said no pain, no gain.
No pain, no gain. Unless it's in the joints. You know. I like if it's my ideal workout week, I would have 3 leg days and then 2 upper body days, because I don't really care for upper body. I would have 3 leg days because I know I can get upper body at any time. My problem as of late is I'm not ramping up my food again. You know, before I was eating like 3,000, 4,000 calories on a regular. I'm probably eating around 3,000. I'm probably maintaining the same amount of weight, but if I miss a single day at the gym, it's always catastrophic. The problems that people like me have, you know, the gym rats who are really in there, you know, we're really trying, we're loving it, we hate the game, and we love it all at the same time. We're trying our best to maintain and gain weight, and we miss one day, and it's all over. So nah. It is not Asame Shimai. You're fucked. Yeah. So now that brings me back to my original commentary. Is I prefer 3 leg days a week versus 2 upper body days. I'm more likely to put on more weight in legs, of course. You know, legs always have the most area, you know, to put weight in. You know, people got glutes, people got thighs, people got hammies, you got the calves. You know, if you work on your tibialis, I don't know if you can get it much bigger, but you know what I'm saying, you can put some strength to the front of the knee and the tibialis so you can avoid ACL tears and shit like that. A little bit better. Yeah. And then you can work on upper body, you know? Upper body is not it's not fun. You know, I always find it funny is when niggas be in the gym and they don't do upper body. Like they got fucking legs that are like this. Like, bro, why is your leg the size of what your arm probably was when you started off? Like, come on, bro. Your leg is like the same size as your wrist, bro. What's happening here? What's happening here, bro? What's happening here? Which is crazy that I can do that because, you know, that's not really... Hey, yo, the sound effect. What's going on over there? But yeah, like niggas got these pencil thin fucking legs. Like, bro, you don't do no legs, bro. You just run. Think you just run, bro? That's the best you do for legs is you run. Like, bro, you the type of nigga I'm taking the bat to the kneecaps. You know what I mean? In game, of course. You know what I'm saying? In game, of course. You know what I'm saying? Fight night round type. You know what I'm saying? Taking the bat to the kneecaps, you know? You got them pencil thin legs, I'm taking the bat to the kneecaps. They need an incline at least. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing the incline while walking backwards. I think that helps. It does help my knees feel better a little bit. I need to get back on that. So I need to finish some of these books. We got too many books. We're gonna have to read on the treadmill. We're gonna have to up our reading game. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have to put books in the bathroom or something. You know what I mean? We're gonna have to JK. We're gonna have to read books while walking. We're gonna have to actually, I don't think I can do much more than that because we can listen to books while we drive. I don't really listen to books at the gym anymore. I was listening to podcasts. Okay, if I'm doing cardio, I can listen to like a book or a podcast or something. If I'm lifting weights,
Aries ascending.
Read
books instead of gaming. Read books instead of sleeping.
Read books instead of life. Instead of eating, you read and look at eating. You know what I mean? Just have the food sitting in front of you, but never touch it. You know what I'm saying? Just wrap it up. You know, save it for later. But until you finish your book, yeah, nah. Yeah, nah. So I don't know.
Said yet all that time wasted cooking.
Exactly. And when you're cooking, you make sure to listen to the book. But you know, the problem with doing cardio, right? When you have this problem, this, you know, gym rat problem, you know, is cardio burns muscle too. You know what I'm saying? Cardio burns fat, burns muscle, it burns everything. Because when your metabolism won't fucking slow down, they said, don't worry. When you get older, when you become an adult, it'll slow down. Don't worry. When you get older, don't worry, it'll slow down. When you turn about 30, when you get in your 20s, when you get in your late 20s, when you get about 30, it'll slow down. Don't worry. Maybe if you weren't moving so much, don't worry, it'll slow down.
Aries ascending. Said 30 isn't old enough for things like that to happen, lol.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to let life, you know, take the wheel and, you know, let it drastically change our diet structure so we can, you know, put on real gains. Nah. By the time that's supposed to happen, I'm going to be, you know, still a gym rat, unfortunately, you know, because if you don't, by the age of 30, if you don't build a good routine, I mean, you can do it afterwards, of course.
Said you're supposed to do your best group pace.
No, I'm already locked in the gym. You know, people think I work for the SWAT when I go to the gym. I don't really talk to people when I'm at the gym, but that's definitely, I've heard that a couple times. When I was, that reminds me, when I was going to Utah, and I was going through TSA, a buddy thought I worked also for them, because he was like, he dressed the way you the way you move it and the way you pull it up, it makes it seem like you work for us. I was like, no, I'm just a regular civilian. I'm just a guy getting on a plane, that's all, you know, just taking flight, I'm just here to work out like everybody else. I'm just here like everybody else, you know, just keeping it cool. Trying my best. Alright, I'm sorry. It also sounds like my mic is ducking my voice a little bit.
Aries ascending. Said that's exactly what somebody pretending to be a security guard would say.
Exactly. The only thing we're guarding is these nuts.
Aries ascending. Said you sound like you're in a tunnel again.
Do I? Do I actually? Seriously? Is it the distance, or is it all of it? Is it proximity to the mic? Do I turn this down some? Turn me down. Turn me up. Turn me up now. Turn me up now. I don't know.
Said at least you're loud enough, lol.
Am I loud enough though? But does that mean when I talk regularly, am I fine? Or is it all versions of the mic? Or all versions of speech, I should say. All the versions of speech! Nihongo. Nihon. 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 I just know that's Nihon. Nihon wa. Where's the wa? Is this considered as wa here? Where's the wa? Nihon wa.
Aries ascending.
Renshute.
Said like when you speak normally it's loud enough that I don't have to turn my volume up all the way, lol.
Oh, that's actually good. That's good. So does that mean the tunnel thing is gone or bad? Or good, actually, at this point? I don't know. Maybe I need some water. Maybe I need some aqua. Aqua. Need to drink more water. I don't think I'm drinking enough water.
Aries ascending. Said it still sounds tunnel y.
Mizu nonde.
SG Zealot. Said join at silent_German_s Discord channel and get ready for some future games. https://discord.gg/
Alright. Still sounds tunnely. Okay. I don't know. I don't know. See, but this turned me down. Turn me up now. Maybe there. And then let's see, that was about 40. Let's see what happens when you do that. Do-do-do. 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 Nihongo wa. Nihongo, which is Japanese, like as in speech. Nihongo, because we add go to a type. I'm just saying things to see the tunnely thing. But when you add go to the country not country, the name, ethnicity, I don't even know. What do you say? What is that? Ethnicity, nationality? We add, I guess, nationality? But see, when you have country has a word too. You know, I mean, like an additional piece added to it. Like, Nihongo is Japanese, like as in the language. Deutsugo is German, the language. Ego, I think it's ego. No, I think it's ego for English. Oh my goodness. Ego. We ain't worried about that English. We worried about that Japanese, motherfucker. Nihon, motherfucker. Nihongo, motherfucker. Hanashi desu ka? Hanashi desu ka?
Aries ascending. Said we didn't come here to learn a language we already know.
Exactly. I don't know what we're gonna put up for today's word. We're also checking on what the house was doing earlier, you know what I'm saying? Because we're locked in. this is actually something of actual use here, you know, because I was like, what the fuck is this shit about? But this, oh, the debate's about to be over. Well, damn, we've missed most of it. I mean, we can always.
Gentleman from Florida is recognized.
My colleagues still not talking about the sixth. My colleagues.
Oh my goodness, not this guy again.
That says remove forces from Venezuela. They're not talking about it because there are no forces in Venezuela. I'm very proud to yield another 2 minutes to the gentleman, also from Florida, Mr. Stoop.
Gentleman from Florida is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Oh,
I rise in opposition
here he
to
is.
this resolution because it's nothing more than
Aries
a weak
ascending.
and pointless attempt to attack
Said
our
there you go.
president
Look
and
at
undermine
political
our
stuff
national
now and
security.
play smite
We
later
conducted
slightly
a
smiling
40-minute
face.
operation.
Well, this isn't the guy, but that last guy
Democrats are acting like we started World War III.
definitely looks like this.
Targeted action
Definitely looks
to
like the fucking goblin from Goblin Slayer.
and tie the president's hands. Let us be clear about how ridiculous this resolution truly is. It orders the United States to withdraw forces from Venezuela, yet there are no U.S. forces in Venezuela to withdraw. You cannot remove troops that don't even exist. That alone shows how unserious Democrats are in this effort. They also claim the act to remove Maduro was unconstitutional, which ignores Article 2 and decades of bipartisan precedent where presidents have undertaken
Aries
limited
ascending.
military action without a
Said
declaration
your
of
mean
war.
face with tears
Clinton
of joy,
acted in
face with
Kosovo.
tears of joy.
Obama acted in Libya. And
Am I mean or am I just noticing things? You know what I'm saying? Like when you,
Manuel Noriega back in
some
1990
people look a little
screamed constitutional crisis then. In fact,
They
those
look a
actions were
little
celebrated by both
like they don't
sides.
belong with the rest of us. You know what I mean? Like they should be classified with the rest of us. If you know what I'm. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm sure that's been used in the past, and I'm sure that comment's been used before.
To import cocaine into the United States.
Some individuals just look like they're characters from other realms. You know what I mean? Like they're
Poison and destruction.
cameoing as a human.
This was not an act of war, it was an act of law enforcement. This resolution does nothing to protect the Constitution, nothing to make America
The
safer,
world may
and
never
nothing to
know.
stop the drugs killing our communities. It should be rejected. I yield.
Guess you want Russia to get that oil.
Gentleman from Florida reserves. Gentleman from New York is recognized.
Reserve.
Gentleman
Yo,
from
this
America
chat is
reserves.
actually talking to 328 niggas watching right now, and they're talking.
Gentleman from Texas is recognized.
The way to protect the American people is get out of the foreign wars and try spending a tiny bit of money on a working class people in America.
Accepting ruthless suppression by Maduro's comrades,
comrades.
the oil profits flow to him as the self-described acting president of Venezuela.
I didn't mean that in particular. I meant, you know, saying that some individuals look like they don't belong with the rest of us.
No winning strategy to secure any benefits for the American people. He doesn't just want to be king of America. He wants to
Let's
be
turn this
king
up a little
of the
bit.
universe. He wants to be a Putin or a Xi disrupting the global order that bipartisan American leaders made possible to prevent another world war. Imperialism, starting wars around the world wherever Trump's
Aries
latest
ascending.
whim takes him.
Said that's
will not make
100% what you
America
meant. Face with tears of
Great
joy,
again.
face
It
with
will
tears
make
of
us
joy.
much less safe.
What?
Found this country. Americans got rid of one despotic king. We don't need another one. Instead, we must demand an accountable president by adopting this important resolution.
Born in 46?
Power of Congress.
This nigga was born in 46?
Gentleman from Massachusetts
Aries
reserves.
ascending.
Members are reminded to
Said
refrain from
fortunately
engaging in
or unfortunately,
personalities
I
toward
gotta
the
go.
president. The gentleman from
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Aries, Sean.
President Trump
Oh, here's this guy again.
yet to start any war in either
This nigga's
administration.
79.
His
He was making
plight
good
has been
commentary,
to
but
protect the American
he shouldn't
people,
still be
protect the
running.
people of the
He
United
shouldn't still
States of
be
America. And he's
in
done a
office.
very good
I'm not
job.
gonna lie.
I reserve.
Gentleman from Florida reserves.
This guy's from-
New York is recognized.
That guy was from Florida, I think, right?
Reserve, ready to close whenever.
Gentleman from New York reserves. Gentleman from Massachusetts is
Same
recognized.
here, Mr. Speaker.
Gentleman from Massachusetts reserves.
So, I'm recognized, I go first, right?
Gentleman from Massachusetts is recognized for closure.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, I have still not gotten an answer to the only question that matters today. You know, why did we strike Venezuela, spending taxpayer money and putting American troops in harm's way to replace Maduro with his own vice president? I mean, someone who is an illegitimate ruler who is just as ruthless and evil as Maduro. I don't know why we did that. What was the point? Not a single one of my colleagues can answer that question because they have no answer.
This is true.
They know voting for the
This is true.
bill is right.
Eddie-chan, also,
People
Kiyotsuke.
put our troops in harm's way. If they genuinely believe more military action may be necessary in the future, if that's what you believe, whether to defend oil fields or to do something else, then you should come. You shouldn't just pound the damn lectern and wave the flag. You need to come before this entire chamber and move a bill to authorize the use of military force. My friends should have the guts and the backbone to put up an authorization for the use of military force on the floor. Spell out the mission. Spell out the objective.
He said,
Tell the
even
American people
if.
how long it lasts, what it costs, why it matters, and how we get a legitimate democratic government in Venezuela. I mean, have the guts to vote. That's all this bill is requiring. But don't give me this BS about how, oh, before the strikes it was premature to vote and now it's too late. I've seen this movie before, Mr. Speaker. It always starts with the White House telling us it'll be quick, it'll be clean, it'll be over in a matter of days, and then months later, years later, you get troops deployed, you get kids coming home in caskets, and you get taxpayers paying for endless quagmires that never end. And the same people are here on the floor telling us we're premature or crying wolf are suddenly nowhere to be found. I mean, that's the truth, Mr. Speaker.
But he is speaking facts right now, not on a cap.
To stop. And this resolution ought to pass, no matter what you believe about further military involvement in Venezuela. And what it says plainly is that if the president is contemplating further military action, then he has a moral and a constitutional.
Sorry, I was actually trying to hear what Buddy was saying, but I'm getting cold.
Get our approval. The people we represent did not send us here to be potted plants while the White House sleepwalks us into another mess. If this administration wants to escalate, make this case to the American people. Get consent through their elected representatives. Follow the Constitution. And let me tell you what I think. I think this was all so that Donald Trump could get a good headline. I think it was so he could distract from the lousy economy and the fact that he's still covering up the Epstein files. And I think it's about theft, because the oil being taken from the people of Venezuela is being sold off and used to finance a slush fund in Qatar controlled by, you guess it, Donald Trump. But I don't think I've ever seen such a brazen example of corruption in my life. The President of the United States put American troops in harm's way so he could steal oil from Venezuela and deposit it into his own pocket. I think it's a disgraceful thing to do. It is time for my colleagues,
But he's talking
both
facts.
sides of the aisle, to grow a spine, obey their oath, and do their damn jobs. You should vote yes on this resolution, whether you support President Trump's actions or you disagree with them. All this says is simply that if he wants to expand military operations, he has to come to Congress. It is that simple. It is not complicated. This is about the Constitution. This is about our oath. This is about representing the people who sent us here. I mean, to do anything less is a dereliction of our duty. I can't even believe that this is controversial. The idea that somehow we don't want to vote on whether to authorize the use of military force, whether it's in Venezuela or anywhere else. What is wrong with my colleagues who think this is such a big leap, that this is somehow not justified? Read the Constitution. And with that, I yield back the balance of my time.
Gentlemen yields. Members are reminded to refrain from engaging in personalities toward the president. The gentleman from New York is recognized.
Mr. Speaker,
And personalities towards the president? Oh, word?
I still have that same question. I heard members on the other side talk about the president's trying to protect the American people. In fact, I heard someone, and I understand why Nicolas Maduro was indicted. I'm going to ask the chairman again. I don't know whether he wants to answer this question, but if that's true, why did the president of the United States pardon a former leader of Honduras, former president, who was convicted of drug trafficking, who bragged about shoving drugs up the noses of the gringos? Why did the president of the United States pardon him?
You yielding me time?
Yeah, you can answer that question.
Gentleman yields. The gentleman from Florida is recognized.
President never explained it to me. Maybe he was just trying to make room for Maduro and his wife.
Okay, that's funny. It's because he does not care. It never was about drugs. It was always about oil. That's why. He doesn't care. That's why he took the Nobel Peace Prize from someone else who earned it. He doesn't care. He cares about one person, himself, and enriching his family and his friends. Mr. Speaker, this War Powers resolution introduced by Representative McGovern would put an immediate end to this administration's reckless military interventions in Venezuela. We cannot allow the Constitution to be usurped by one president who believes he can unilaterally declare war, invade a sovereign nation, and buck the rules-based international system we helped build. If the House fails to check President Trump's aggression today, it will not end in Venezuela. I know the White House is paying close attention to this vote. And if we don't stand now and reassert our Article I power over matters of war and peace, we will have abdicated one of our most solemn responsibilities and reduce ourselves to a rubber stamp and become no better than the Duma in Russia. Our constituents sent us here to deliver on lowering their costs, not sit on our hands while the president keeps doing what he pleases.
He gonna keep talking anyway.
Time is expired.
The balance of my time.
Gentleman from Florida is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, let me answer some of the questions that my colleagues put up. Why did President Trump take Maduro? To protect the homeland of the United States of America, as he has done with action after action after action. The same reason that two presidents put a warrant, a bounty on Nicolas Maduro, not just President Trump, also President Biden. That's why Nicolas Maduro was snatched up, because of his poisoning of the people of the United States of America. Again, something can be true and
makes
also
sense.
be true about another action and another action and another action. It was because of the bounty. It was because
45.
of the award. It was because
He does meet the age criteria I was talking about running in office.
His partnership with China, Iran, Russia, to be their foothold in the Western Hemisphere for their nefarious activities. It was because of the illegal shipments of oil.
The crazy thing is, he's paraplegic,
China that were coming out
who
of
supports
Venezuela.
Trump.
It's because of a lot of things that this took place. And does the president have a plan for the future?
Doesn't he benefit from
100% he does.
disability
Free and
in some fashion?
Elections. Freedom.
I know VA, of course, but like, 'cause he's a veteran. But doesn't he benefit from
Ask the people of Venezuela if they're better today than they were before.
disabilities,
President Trump
disability
snatched up
benefits, and all that? Just in general?
They are. They're more free today, and they're hoping for more and more freedom each and every day. President Trump has brought hope to our homeland by protecting this homeland that has been ignored for so long. And he's brought hope to so many others around the globe. The people of Venezuela, people across the Middle East, people across Europe, people in place after place because of his actions. He is the peace president. He's proven it over and over again. He has never been the president of forever wars. He's yet to create one. He's only worked in limited operations that protect the homeland of the United States of America and done the best job of it in the history of the United States of America. Mr. Speaker, I yield back the balance of my time.
All time for debate has expired. Pursuant to the order of the House of January 21st, 2026, the previous question is ordered on the concurrent resolution. The question is on the adoption of the concurrent resolution. Those in favor say aye. Those opposed say no. In my opinion, the noes have it. The concurrent resolution is not agreed
Mr. Speaker, the yeas and nays, please.
The yeas and nays are...
Yeah, for real, because I feel like that
The
eye,
yeas and nays will rise.
that eye was
Now,
pretty.
having risen, the yeas and nays are ordered. Pursuant to Clause 8 of Rule 20, further proceedings on this question will be postponed.
He really tried to say nah. That joint. We heard the no, but it just sounded like somebody was yelling, not like it didn't sound like those nays sounded like somebody, like two people had yelled, versus the eyes just sounded like people just said it like at their regular voice in agreement. Like but the nays sound like no. There he goes. Your time is up, Democrats. Stop gaslighting. Hey, yo. Why is it always Democrats versus Republicans? Why is it not representing the people? It's 3:30. We should probably play some games. Don't know what we're gonna play.
For what purpose does the gentleman from Michigan, Mr. Wahlberg, seek recognition?
Mr. Wahlberg.
Speaker, pursuant to House Resolution 1009, I call up H.R. 6359 and ask for its immediate consideration in the House.
Clerk will report the title of the bill.
Union Calendar Number 382, H.R. 6359, a bill to require institutions of higher education to disseminate information on the rights of and accommodations and resources for pregnant students and for other purposes.
Oh, this is that bill.
1009, the amendment in the nature of a substitute recommended by the Committee on Education and Workforce, printed in the bill is adopted and the bill as amended is considered read. The bill as amended shall be debatable for 1 hour, equally divided and controlled by the chair and ranking minority member of the Committee on Education and Workforce or their respective designees. The gentleman from Michigan, Mr. Wahlberg, and the gentleman from Virginia, Mr. Scott, each will control 30 minutes. The chair recognizes the gentleman from Michigan, Mr. Wahlberg.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I ask unanimous consent that all members may have 5 legislative days in which to revise and extend their remarks and to insert extraneous material on H.R. 6359.
Without objection.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield myself such time as I may consume. Mr. Speaker, I rise today in support of the Pregnant Students' Rights Act, legislation that affirms a simple but powerful principle. Expecting mothers should be encouraged to pursue their education like any other student. Pregnant students often receive incorrect guidance or no guidance at all on how to navigate classes while pregnant. In many cases, women feel pressured to end their pregnancies or risk academic failure despite protections that exist now under federal law. The Pregnant Students' Rights Act requires schools to clearly communicate what accommodations and protections pregnant and parenting students are entitled to. That includes excused absences for medical needs, the ability to make up missed work, and protection.
I think it said 8 hours is enough. They haven't been live for 8 hours, have they? No, they haven't been live for 8 hours because I think they started at 9 today.
This bill requires information to be emailed to students at least once each academic year and appear in student handbooks, at orientation, at student health or counseling centers, and on the institution's website. When students know their rights, they are empowered to stay enrolled, stay engaged, and succeed. This legislation doesn't burden colleges. It simply increases transparency by helping schools communicate consistently and avoid confusion or unnecessary disputes. This is a common sense, compassionate measure that promotes transparency and ensures pregnant students have the support they need to create a better future for themselves and their child. Mr. Speaker, let's cherish life for both the child and his or her mother who dreams of academic success.
I don't know if the child's dreaming of that, but the mother is.
The Pregnant Students' Rights Act and stand up for the dignity, opportunity, and educational success of every student. I reserve the balance of my time.
Gentleman from Michigan reserves. The gentleman from Virginia is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield myself such time as I may consume. Mr. Speaker, I rise in opposition to H.R. 6359, the Pregnant Students' Rights Act. This bill requires schools to provide pregnant students with information about on-campus and community resources and accommodations to assist them in carrying a baby to term while they pursue an education. Unfortunately, instead of sharing unbiased and comprehensive information, this bill requires schools to distribute only partial information about a student's rights under Title IX and selective information and resources that solely encourage students to carry a pregnancy to term. It provides no information about rights and accommodations for students who may find themselves in a medical situation that requires an abortion. Now, repeating the idea that comprehensive information must be provided does not make it true. Title IX entitles the students to the information, but this bill only requires some of that information to be provided. Now, while the bill's proponents continue to assert that students are unaware of their rights, they provide no justification or evidence that students are any more or less aware of their rights or accommodations specific to carrying a child to term. If we're concerned about students who do not have a full understanding of their rights, then we should provide comprehensive all of the information necessary to address their concerns. Shielding students from health information, resources, and rights that are available to them, Republicans are denying them the ability to choose what may be best for them and their families. For these reasons, I urge my colleagues to oppose the bill and reserve the balance of my time.
Gentleman from Virginia reserves. The gentleman from Michigan is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just have to go back to the same argument that we had in committee. We don't prohibit schools from giving a full panoply of information. Our concern is that they haven't been. Pregnant students have been left without full information that comes and is by law required under Title IX on all aspects of medical care, of counseling, of opportunity. But sadly, that's been left out as far as saying, if you are pregnant and you want to continue as pregnant in this school, we're going to support you in that. Title IX gives all of the information. We're not going to be redundant. We're just making sure that you also include, young lady, if you're pregnant and you want to continue in school, we're going to do our best to help you and provide all the resources. I just wish we could catch hold of this, and so
why can't you
minutes to the gentlewoman from Iowa, the sponsor of this common sense, compassionate. And
my thing is, right?
Ms. Hinson.
If that's your argument, if that's your counter argument to him saying that there's not enough, saying that they need to cover everything, and you're saying, yeah, we agree, we definitely don't think they're covering it at all, like pretty much any of this. We just want them to make sure that they say the pregnancy part. But the thing is, why can't you amend the bill to cover the whole aspect and make sure you're doubling down on those efforts? Not just the pregnancy part. Yeah, that's the thing you want to be included, but make sure it's just included with the rest of the stuff that's already supposed to be happening. Why not doubling down the efforts and make sure that these things are actually happening across the board to these higher institutions? You know what I mean?
A million questions that are going through your head at any given time. You've got the doctor's appointments, you've got new financial responsibilities, and pregnant students have so much on their plate as they're working to balance school and have a healthy pregnancy at the same time. So I think it's just unacceptable that so often they would choose between finishing their education and having their baby despite the Title IX protections that are already in place. So under Title IX, pregnant students have the right to stay in school and finish their education and achieve their career goals. However, the academic disparity does exist because of limited resources and sometimes support for pregnant students. These women may fear institutional reprisal, loss of an athletic scholarship, or even negative impacts on their academic opportunities and their standing. So those fears and anxieties are not just unjust to women, but they are a poor reflection of how our higher education institutes are treating pregnant students. Higher education institutions and universities have a responsibility to empower all their students, all of them, to succeed, including pregnant students. They deserve to be treated with respect and surrounded with care and love. And that's what this piece of legislation is designed to do. I have visited pregnancy resource centers in Iowa and met with so many of those who have dedicated their cause to life, many of whom have traveled right here to Washington, D.C. for the March for Life this weekend. Maybe a snowy March for Life this
Excuse me.
And it has been inspiring to me to see all of the—
I don't know if that march is going to be happening at all, based on what these babies talking about the weather.
Mothers and their babies to thrive, because that is what this movement is all about. It's about recognizing the sanctity of every life and valuing life at every stage. It is crucial that pregnant women know that they have people standing behind them, resources available to them, and that they are entitled to these accommodations on campuses. Completing an education as a mother is not only empowering for the student, but this is vital to ensuring a strong future for her child, for our next generation. So the Pregnant Students' Rights Act amends the Higher Education Act to require our colleges and universities to clearly distribute information about pregnant students' rights and available resources through student handbooks, emails, websites, orientations, while promoting accountability when those rights are violated for our students. And it's troubling that some of my colleagues on the other side of the aisle are so dug in on their pro-abortion stances and agenda that they would oppose providing pregnant students with information on their rights and resources available to them to continue their education and have a healthy pregnancy. Supporting women who choose life should not be a partisan issue. Every woman who completes her studies while pregnant strengthens our families, our communities, and our workforce. So I hope my colleagues across the aisle will help to vote to empower pregnant women and support this vital, life-affirming legislation. This bill is a step in the right direction to creating a culture of life in our society, and a step that we must take as we continue to pursue policies that help our families to grow and thrive from Iowa and beyond across the country. Mr. Speaker, I yield back.
Gentlelady from Iowa reserves. Gentleman from Michigan reserves. The gentleman from Virginia is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I yield 3 minutes to the gentlewoman from Georgia, Ms. Macbeth.
Gentlelady is recognized.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and thank you so much to the ranking member of the Education and Workforce Committee, Mr. Bobby Scott. Thank you. Like so many women across the country, I struggled for so many years to get pregnant. My husband and I, we tried everything that we could do to start a family of our own. So being a mom for me was what I always wanted to do, and I wanted to be the best mom that I could be. When we finally succeeded, I remember that I had never really been so happy. All the prayers I prayed to God, I finally felt like my prayers were answered. The moment I prayed for years was happening, and I wanted to tell everyone that I was going to be a mom. But one day, I woke up covered in blood. It's hard to describe the agony of a miscarriage, to describe the heartbreak, the utter helplessness. And you fall directly into pain and despair. After my second miscarriage, I wondered if God ever had plans for me to be a mom. So when I got pregnant the third time, I was completely overjoyed. But at 4 months, I was rushed to the hospital where I learned I had suffered a fetal demise. That means a stillborn. My doctors thought it would be safer to end the pregnancy naturally, so for 2 weeks, I carried my stillborn child within my womb, within my belly. For 2 weeks, I carried that lost pregnancy. 2 weeks, I carried my dead fetus as they waited for me to go into labor. I never ended up going into labor on my own. And when the doctors finally induced me, I faced the pain of childbirth without the hope for a living child. This story is uniquely mine, but it's not just my story. Millions of women in our country, women in this room, women all throughout America, women that you people here, you actually know and you love them, have suffered a miscarriage or stillbirth. Congress should be making sure that women are aware of all of their rights, not just cherry picking the ones that we want to highlight over others to make a point about abortion. So, for the women in your life whose stories that you don't even know, for the women across the country whose lives you may not even understand the choices and the environments that they live in.
Gentlelady is recognized.
And for the women in America who have gone through things some people can never even imagine. I ask my colleagues to vote no on this misguided bill. It's not that we're not trying to empower women who are making choices during their pregnancy. That's not at all. But let's make sure that they are empowered with every tool and every resource and every bit of information they deserve to make the choices they need to make about their lives, their bodies, and their pregnancies. This body should not be determining what decisions they make for themselves. We talk about God. God gives us choice. God gives us choice to make the decisions that we believe are best for ourselves. We have no right to take those choices away from them. So I'm asking every colleague on the other side of the aisle, I've been there. I've had to make choices. So let's do the right thing and make sure that every woman has the full breadth of the ability to make the choices that she needs to make.
I don't think this needs to be in our debate.
Reserves, the gentleman from Michigan is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And to my dear friend and colleague from Georgia, as you've discussed that tragic story with me before, my heart does break. But having experienced that in my own personal family as well, I understand what you're saying. I'm just
wrong.
Not capable, I guess, of communicating that this bill is affording
wrong statement to make. You don't say I understand how you're feeling, because that's
who are blessed to be able to continue
what's that considered as?
To completion.
Downplaying their feelings.
That their academic opportunity will continue as well.
Right.
That's all we're attempting to do.
Sympathizing.
My heart breaks with that story, but my heart also says we want to make sure, and that's why I appreciate Representative Hinson's bill, that it expands the opportunity and information that's given. And so now I yield, I'm privileged to yield 2 minutes to the gentlewoman from Illinois, chair of the Congressional Family Caucus, also a member of the Education Workforce Committee, Ms. Miller.
Gentlelady from Illinois is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise in strong support of H.R. 6359, the Pregnant Students' Rights Act. College can be a challenging environment, especially for pregnant women. Many feel forced to choose between motherhood and their education. Nearly 30% of all abortions in the United States are performed on women in college. Title IX already protects the right of pregnant women to stay in school. However, many of them face a lack of resources and support. Some even fear punishment and a loss of
born in 59, she's 66. I was like, why does she look like she's old?
The Pregnant Students' Rights
Looks
Act
very frail.
colleges
She
and
looks older than she
universities
is.
to inform pregnant women of
Yikes.
their rights and protections. This includes information on modified class schedules or excused absences. This bill also requires universities to inform pregnant women how to file a complaint with the Department of Education if their Title IX protections are violated. Let me be clear, no woman should ever have to choose between finishing her education
Once
and
again,
experiencing the joy of motherhood. And
far-right politician.
To my colleague on the other side, I have had a similar situation also, but I do want to thank her for acknowledging that the life within her was a baby. Women are fully capable of raising children and getting an education at the same time. I know because I did it. Thank you to Congresswoman Hinson for your leadership of the Pregnant Students' Rights Act, and I yield back.
Gentlelady yields. Gentleman from Michigan reserves. Gentleman from Virginia is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I yield 3 minutes to the gentlewoman from Washington State, Ms. Randall.
Gentlelady from Washington is recognized.
Thank you, Ranking Member Scott. I rise today in strong opposition to H.R. 6359, a bill that claims to protect pregnant students, but actually mandates they get less, not more, information about their rights. If the sponsor of this bill and the majority party actually believed in supporting student parents, then they would take real action, not just grandstand on the House floor because the March for Life is this weekend. The bill before us today requires the dissemination of incomplete information, but it also comes after
Born in 85,
have worked alongside
making her only 41. This is very good, actually. Very good.
And protections for students who
Very good. Younger individual representing
that has dismantled subsidized loan
the actual population around here. The majority population.
One payer for births in this country in order to pay for tax breaks for the ultra wealthy and fund ICE's.
When I say that, let me bring the data back up real quick.
If we believed in supporting student parents, we would put more money into childcare subsidies, more money into financial aid, more money into food assistance, so that the women in college, the people who are students, who get pregnant, who have a tough decision to make, would have all of the resources and support they need to make the decision that is right for them. It's not our job to tell a student what decision is right for them. It's not our job to tell any high school graduate that they need to go to college, right? I hear Republicans say that all the time. I tend to agree. I believe that students deserve all the options and all the support to make the choice that is right for them. But mandating incomplete information while gutting the programs that would allow a pregnant student to choose to stay pregnant, to choose to complete school, is a fallacy. It is political theater, and it is doing a disservice to the students we are purporting to support. I have had a chance to work with a lot of students who have become pregnant, both from like the time I was in junior high when a friend of mine had a pregnancy scare, to the time when I was in college, to being a volunteer in the Bay Area where I was on a rapid response line in case someone needed to take a bus 3.5 hours.
Like I said, she's 41, right? My bad. Sorry, I got a little paying attention to what she was saying. She represents at least
care or OBGYN care or access
between anyone and below, right?
We have not funded
This is.
in rural communities across the country.
Can I get the correct calculations here?
Provide actual support for pregnant people. This is a joke. Let's make sure they get an email with all the information. It is unserious. And for that, I urge all of my colleagues to vote no on this bill and to take serious action to support students.
Okay, that's not it.
Pregnant or not. Thank you.
Gentleman from Virginia reserves. The gentleman from Michigan is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would just like to make
I feel like I'm supposed to be able to
actual comments in response. I think also provide some information relative to my colleagues' previous comments. Republicans just passed Working Families Tax Cut.
She represents at least 51% of the population. I'm talking about from her age group and below. 51% of the population. She represents the majority of the American people, according to the 2020 census.
100
2020 census.
will get a 12% tax cut compared to July 2025. And equally as important, if not more so, the child tax credit. The child tax credit will double to $2,200 for more than 40 million American families. That is taking consideration the children that come from pregnancy, that are born. We're not leaving them.
See, individuals who make commentary like this right here, why should taxpayers have to pay for someone to have an abortion? Cool. No, that makes sense. You make a reasonable argument for that, right? But why should taxpayers have to pay for Israel to have free healthcare? Free healthcare, sorry. Why should taxpayers have to pay for Israel to have free healthcare? Why should taxpayers have to pay for Israel to start conflicts and genocides in other countries that they occupy? Why do taxpayers have to spend money on removing another country's president and causing some destruction in their country along with loss of life? Why should taxpayers have to pay for, let's see here, sending money to other countries that improves either their healthcare, their education, like what Egypt, the bill is planning to have it was like 4.5 billion. I could be wrong about the number. Could be 2.5 billion, but it's like it's in the billions. I think it's 4.5 billion to help with their higher education. Why should taxpayers have to pay for
the protections that are actually necessary for pregnant and parenting students and their children?
Lower taxes for higher paid, or I'm sorry, the top 1%ers. Why should taxpayers have to suffer life and things to their health instead of having to support support somebody's pockets? I'm sorry, I was starting to digress because I was trying to hear what the hell he's saying, because he sounds like he reads it himself, but he doesn't have he gives, no offense, but he gives like, I'm gonna put you to sleep like if I'm talking for too long.
They are providing comprehensive information and not amending Title IX. Fact is, Title IX
He doesn't have the pizzazz to his commentary.
Title IX that are comprehensive. This bill, however, only requires partial information about those rights. When only partial information is given, that could have fatal consequences to women. Tragically, women have died because of anti-abortion legislation that have passed in some states that require women to be close to death before they can have what could have been earlier a safe abortion. If they mistime it and get closer to death than they thought, many have actually died in those circumstances. Legislators voted for those laws. We have to note that we should not allow colleges to withhold information that could save women's lives. So I would hope that this bill would not pass under that situation, and I reserve the balance of my time.
Without objection, the information requested will be entered into the record, and the gentleman reserves. Gentleman from Florida, or gentleman from Michigan is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I would like consent to enter a list of significant pro-family, pro-life, medical community members, family research members, and students for the record in support of the Pregnant Students' Rights Act.
Without objection.
I reserve.
Gentleman reserves.
Without objection.
Virginia is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I yield 3 minutes to the gentlewoman from Oregon, Ms. Bonamici.
Gentlewoman from Oregon is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, Ranking Member Scott, for your leadership and for yielding. Mr. Speaker, I oppose this bill because, among other reasons, the information that is required is incomplete and it's biased. As written, the Pregnant Students' Rights Act is unfairly limited regarding the information it requires colleges to provide to students and the students it chooses to support. It does not include information about comprehensive family planning resources, and it only supports pregnant students who carry a baby to term. Simply put, The bill fails to support any student with a different pregnancy-related outcome. I, like my colleague from Georgia, had a wanted pregnancy. I was past the first trimester when I had an ultrasound and the doctor said, this is not viable and not a viable pregnancy. So they sent me to the hospital to have a procedure. Now my colleagues might think that's terrible, but had I been in a post-Dobbs world or state where that wasn't possible, I could have just been made to wait and risk my reproductive health. I went on to have 2 healthy children because I had that procedure. The intent of this bill is clear, Mr. Speaker. It's clear from the text, it's clear from the debate, and it's certainly clear from the timing. It is another attempt to have politicians interfere in the intensely personal decision of when and whether to have a child. A decision that should be made only by the pregnant student, not by members of Congress. In the wake of Dobbs, many states have prohibited or tried to prohibit healthcare providers and health plans from offering or covering certain reproductive healthcare services. These anti-abortion efforts have disproportionately harmed some students whose access to services and information are affected by their geographical barriers, depending on where they are in college. Pregnant and parenting students deserve access to a full range of family planning resources and reproductive healthcare options that keep them healthy and on track for academic success, regardless of where they go to college. And for this reason, Mr. Speaker, at the appropriate time, I will offer a motion to recommit this bill back to the committee. If the House rules permitted, I would have offered the motion with an important amendment to this bill. My amendment would make clear that institutions of higher education will also provide medically accurate and comprehensive information and resources about all reproductive healthcare services, including contraception and abortion rights. The biased anti-choice effort underpinning this bill will make it harder for students to make informed decisions about what is best for them. Promoting partisan legislation that fails to address the full healthcare needs of students does not promote academic success. Again, Mr. Speaker, this is a decision that belongs to the pregnant student, not to members of Congress. So I ask unanimous consent to insert into the record the text of this amendment.
Without objection.
And I hope my colleagues will join me in voting for the motion to recommit. And I yield back.
Gentlelady yields. Gentleman for Virginia reserves. Gentleman from Michigan is recognized.
I'm prepared to close, Mr. Speaker.
Gentleman reserves. Gentleman from Virginia is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I yield myself the balance of the time. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, state abortion bans have undermined health care for pregnant women, causing women to experience life-threatening health conditions and complications, with some women tragically losing their lives because of laws that legislators voted for. Now, House Republicans are going to make things worse by limiting students' access to information about available resources, including information about their right to receive accommodations and protections under federal civil rights laws available to pregnant or parenting students on college campuses. Women should have access to all relevant information so they can make informed decisions about their future. Requiring schools to provide only some information that encourages students to carry a pregnancy to term, this bill could unduly endanger students' health by keeping them in the dark about their rights and resources available to them. Now, the supporters are saying that they are not amending Title IX, which entitles students to all of this information. They keep ignoring the fact that this bill only requires that some, not all, of that important information be provided. Repeating a misrepresentation does not make it true. Mr. Speaker, I urge my colleagues to oppose the bill and yield back the balance of my time.
Gentleman yields. The gentleman from Michigan is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield myself the balance of my time.
Gentleman is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, in closing, I'd like to reemphasize that this bill is about ensuring pregnant students know the rights given to them under Title IX, which cover all of the concerns that my colleagues, with all due respect, on the other side of the aisle say they want included. Title IX includes all of that. We want students to know the rights given to them under Title IX without creating excessive regulations or requirements for colleges and universities. Despite what some of my colleagues have said today, the Pregnant Students' Rights Act doesn't promote a certain viewpoint or ideology. It simply affirms a basic principle, and that principle is pregnant students deserve to know their rights when pursuing an education. I don't believe that to be too radical, Mr. Speaker, and I don't believe the American people do either. In fact, for years, many of my Democrat colleagues acknowledged that abortion is a serious and difficult decision and supported efforts to ensure women were not forced into it by a lack of resources or support. They joined in passing legislation to help women who choose to continue their pregnancies. Yet today, some of those efforts are being undermined unless amendments that explicitly promote abortion are included. It's deeply disappointing that some of my Democrat colleagues have chosen to turn this straightforward transparency bill into an abortion debate, implying that support for pregnant students is contingent on including pro-abortion provisions. Why must an innocent baby ever be seen as an enemy or obstacle to success? This bill also does not provide medical advice or dictate what specific resources colleges and universities may list. For that reason, I would encourage those who oppose this legislation on those grounds to carefully reread the bill's plain language. We all know that when individuals know their rights, they're able to make informed decisions that are best for them and their families and their futures. This is why I urge all my colleagues to vote yes. And with that, I yield back.
Gentleman from Michigan yields. All time for debate has expired. Pursuant to House Resolution 1009, the previous question is ordered on the bill as amended. The question is on engrossment and third reading of the bill. Those in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. Third reading.
A bill to
Did the
require
ayes really have
institutions of
it?
higher education to disseminate information on the rights of and accommodations and resources for pregnant students and for other purposes.
For what purpose does the gentlewoman from Oregon seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, I have a motion to recommit at the desk.
The clerk will report the motion.
Ms. Bonamici of Oregon moves to recommit the bill H.R. 6359 to the Committee on Education and Workforce.
Pursuant to Clause 2B of Rule 19, the previous question is ordered on the motion to recommit. The question is on the motion. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. The noes have it. The motion.
Do the noes really have it? I feel like it's one dude yelling out.
Yeas and nays.
The yeas and nays are requested. Those favoring a vote by the yeas and nays will rise. A sufficient number having risen, the yeas and nays are ordered. Pursuant to Clause 8 of Rule 20, further proceedings on this question will be postponed. Pursuant to Clause 8 of Rule 20, the unfinished business is the vote on passage of H.R. 7147, on which the yeas and nays are ordered. The clerk will report the title of the bill.
H.R. 7147, a bill making further consolidated appropriations for the fiscal year ending September 30th, 2026, and for other purposes.
Questions on passage of the bill. Members will record their votes by electronic device. This is a 15-minute vote.
This is the bill about I believe the fiscal year, of course. She just said that, but for 26. But I think this is the one that includes the 4.5 billion to Egypt, if I remember correctly. 2 Republicans have already said yeah. Quick with it. Well, there goes that dim saying that no. First one hit that no button. Did this update? Did they update that they were? There we go. And then the text for this, because this thing is like humongous if I remember correctly. So this whole bill, right, for fiscal year is for necessary expenses of the Office of Secretary and for Executive Manager for operations and support. Wait, this is just a breakdown for each one. Security enforcement investigations. This is for Border Patrol. $17 billion? $17.7 billion to go to Border Patrol? So 17.7 billion, right? I think that's what it was. $316 million to go to Homeland Security. No. No, not for Homeland Security. Homeland Security gets, hold on, $316 million for necessary expense of the Office of the Secretary and for Executive Management for operations support. $1.6 billion for vehicle optimization. Secret Service is getting Secret Service is getting $3.1 billion. Not a single Democrat has voted yeah, and not a single Republican has voted nay. Not surprised there. Not surprising there at all. I do say so myself. $2.2 billion for the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency. E-Verify program. Wait, what? Homeland Security or any other agency hires part-time employees? Didn't know that. Hopefully it's because they're deliberating together and trying to get people to sway sides. You know what I mean? Hopefully that's the reason why. This isn't the bill about the support for other countries and whatnot money. Oh look, a Republican has finally said nay. It's about fucking time. It only took this fucking long. Well, that one guy that looked like went and sat down like he was Hegseth. All right, let me go get some food real quick. 5 Democrats have voted. Yeah. Oh my goodness. It looks like the tables have turned. Well, I guess it's getting approved.
On this vote, the yeas are 220 and the nays are 207. The bill is passed without objection. A motion to reconsider is laid on the table. Pursuant to House Resolution 1014 and Rule 18, the Chair declares the House and the Committee of the Whole House on the State of the Union for further consideration of H.R. 7148. Will the gentleman from Florida, Mr. Fine, kindly take the chair?
The House is in the Committee of the Whole House on the State of the Union for the further consideration of H.R. 7148, which the clerk will report by title.
H.R. 7148, a bill making further consolidated appropriations for the fiscal year ending September 30th, 2026, and for other purposes.
When the Committee of the Whole rose earlier today, Amendment Number 2, printed in Part B of House Report 119-462, offered by the gentleman from South Carolina, Mr. Norman, had been postponed. Pursuant to Clause 6 of Rule 18, proceedings will now resume on those amendments printed in Part B of House Report 119-462, on which further proceedings were postponed in the following order. Amendment Number 1 by Mr. Massey of Kentucky, Amendment Number 2 by Mr. Norman of South Carolina. The chair will reduce to 2 minutes the minimum time for any electronic vote in this series. The unfinished business is the request for a recorded vote on Amendment Number 1, printed in Part B of House Report 119-462, offered by the gentleman from Kentucky, Mr. Massey, on which further proceedings were postponed and on which the ayes prevailed by voice vote. The clerk will redesignate the amendment.
Amendment Number 1, printed in Part B of House Report Number 119-462, offered by Mr. Massey of Kentucky.
A recorded
looks
vote
like I'm
has
back
been
for the reading.
requested. Those in support of the request for a recorded vote
Looks like
will
there's a
rise
different
and
House
be
10-4.
counted. A sufficient number having risen, a recorded vote is ordered. Members will record their votes by electronic device. This will be a 2-minute vote.
Wait, they're voting on something else? Kentucky Part 2.
H.R. 70.
Is laid on the table. Yeah. Resolution 10, the Union from Florida.
The House is in the Committee of the Whole House on the State of the Union for the further consideration of H.R. 7148, which the clerk will report by title.
H.R. 7148, a bill making further
Why did he slam the gavel so hard?
appropriations for the fiscal year ending September 30th, 2026, and for other purposes.
When the Committee of the Whole rose earlier today, Amendment Number 2, printed in Part B of House Report 119-462, offered by the gentleman from South Carolina, Mr. Norman, had been postponed. Pursuant to Clause 6 of Rule 18, proceedings will now resume on those amendments printed in Part B of House Report 119-462, on which further proceedings were postponed in the following order. Amendment Number 1 by Mr. Massey of Kentucky. Amendment Number 2 by Mr. Norman of South Carolina. The chair will reduce to 2 minutes the minimum time for any electronic vote in this series. The unfinished business is the request for a recorded vote on Amendment Number 1, printed in Part B of House Report
But he's 51.
119-462, offered by the
He
gentleman from
is
Kentucky,
outside of
on which further
my
proceedings
age
were
range
postponed,
quota for
and on
Congress.
which the ayes prevailed by voice vote. The clerk.
Oh, his seat is up for election. Make sure y'all vote him out.
On this vote, the yeas are 164 and the nays are 268. The amendment is not adopted. The unfinished business is the request for a recorded vote on Amendment Number 2, printed in Part B of House Report 119-462, offered by the gentleman from South Carolina, Mr. Norman, on which further proceedings were postponed and on which the ayes prevailed by voice vote. The clerk will redesignate the amendment.
Amendment Number 2, printed in Part B of House Report Number 119-462, offered by Mr. Norman of South Carolina.
A recorded vote's been requested. Those in support of the request for a recorded vote will rise and be counted. A sufficient number having risen, a recorded vote is ordered. Members will record their vote by electronic device. This will be a 2.
They said that those will rise and it'll be counted. Does he mean the vote's like going on now, maybe? Because I was about to say, like, everybody's already standing. He's a supporter of Islamophobia. Doesn't look like that's getting passed.
On this vote, the yeas are 136 and nays are 291. The amendment is not adopted. There being no further amendments, under the roll, the committee rises.
Mr. Chair.
Mr. Speaker, the Committee of the Whole House and the State of the Union has had under consideration H.R. 7148 pursuant to House Resolution 1014. I report the bill as amended by that resolution back to the House.
The Chair of the Committee of the Whole House on the State of the Union reports that the committee has had under consideration the bill H.R. 7148 and pursuant to House Resolution 1014 reports the bill as amended by that resolution back to the House. Under the rule, the previous question is ordered. The question is on engrossment and third reading of the bill. Those in favor, please say aye. Those opposed, please say no. The ayes have it. Third reading.
The bill making further consolidated appropriations for the fiscal year ending September 30th, 2026, and for other purposes.
The questions on passage of the bill. Under Clause 10 of Rule 20, the yeas and nays are ordered. Members will record their votes by electronic device. Pursuant to Clause 9 of Rule 20, this 5-minute vote on passage of H.R. 7148 will be followed by 2-minute votes on the motion to recommit H.R. 6359, passage of H.R. 6359 if ordered, and adoption of House Concurrent Resolution 68. This is a 5-minute vote.
Which one is this? 68? I was like, is this on party lines? It does look like it's on party lines. Like it's just all Democrats on it. He was born in 48, which makes this guy I'm sorry, I wasn't doing the math because I started looking at this. What did I say? 48, which makes this guy like 75, going on 76, I think. No, that's wrong. That's wrong. That's incorrect. That makes him 77, 78, going on 78. Which once again, he doesn't represent the population of the entire United States, of course. that Speaker Johnson down there at the bottom? That's who it looks like. So it's just straight Democrats on here who've co-sponsored this bill. Five of the 6 non-voting chamber members. How many? All 435 districts. Is that every single district in the U.S.? In the U.S. $435. Okay, so all 435. But why is only 5 of the 6 non-voting members are up for election? Resident commissioner.
On this vote, the yeas are 341 and the nays are 88. The bill is passed. Without objection, a motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
So this passed. Is that what that was? Once again.
Clause A to Rule 20. The unfinished business is question on agreeing to the motion to recommend on HR 6359 offered by the gentlewoman from Oregon, Ms. Bonamici, on which the yeas and nays are ordered. The clerk will redesignate the motion.
Motion to recommit H.R. 6359 offered by Ms. Bonamici of Oregon.
The question is on agreeing to the motion to recommit. Members will record their vote by electronic device. This will be a 2-minute vote.
So this was the spending bill. That It includes so this is the one that I was talking about before. That includes money being sent to Egypt and whatnot. So this isn't the bill? Oh my goodness, how many are there? This is why the people never know anything what's going on. Because this is why the people never know what's going on, because there's so much stuff you have to sift through. Feels like jargon. Excuse me.
On this vote, the yeas are 213, the nays are 216. The motion is not adopted. The question is on the passage of the bill. Those in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. The opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. For what purpose, Mr.
After ayes and nays.
The yeas and nays are requested. Those in favor of the vote by the yeas and nays will rise. A sufficient number of having risen, the yeas and nays are ordered. Members will record their vote by electronic device. This is a 2-minute vote.
What? Bro, am I tripping? That definitely looks like Johnson. Speaker of the House, right? Johnson, right? Is that Trump? I don't think that's him.
The yeas are 217, the nays are 211. The bill is passed, and without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table. Pursuant to Clause 8 of Rule 20, the unfinished business is to vote on the adoption of a House concurrent Resolution 68 on which the yeas and nays are ordered. The clerk will report the title of the concurrent resolution.
I think that's him.
Resolution 68, concurrent
Wait,
resolution
what?
to direct the removal of United States Armed Forces.
It might not be him, but he just looks like him from the
that have not
back.
been authorized by Congress.
The question is on the adoption of the concurrent resolution. Members will record their votes by electronic device. This is a 2-minute vote.
That's not him. Okay. That just looks like him from the back. So Buddy's camo. Guess I couldn't see the toupee, but he's camoing. Oh my gosh. Cameoing? Oh, he brought him a baseball cap. Or a cap. Oh, would you look at that? It's like, come on, let's leave the chamber so you can put that hat on. Were they agreeing on? No wonder Republicans say no. We gave somebody else a hat too. Maybe they're doing like a little group photo or something. Buddy put his hat on, I think. Yeah, Buddy has his hat on, right? No, I can't see the front of it. Maybe he doesn't have a hat on? I think he has a hat on. Whoa, somebody took that yay away. It was 3 Republicans before. Somebody switching sides. I didn't even know you could do that. I didn't even know you could do that. It's like one of the few black people I'm seeing right here. Or at least a black woman. That's for sure. It was that black guy a second ago. And that black woman he gave the hat to, but it's like there's a black woman, I think. An older black woman, I think. Actually, no, that might be Kat. I might be wrong. I can't tell who that is. She also has a hat. Actually, I can't really tell. There's a black guy. You don't see too many black people in this situation, it seems. Whose kid is this? He's messing around over here. I feel like that's disrespectful to the tables, isn't it? Like, don't they say it's like disrespectful to do anything outside of just setting your stuff down? Whose kid is this? I mean, I don't care, it's just a table, but like, whose kid is this? Hey, that's a black guy. Alright, go ahead, Mr. Speaker Tempore. Why does it sound like somebody yelling in the crowd? Maybe it's the music? Maybe, I don't know. Hey yo. Hey yo. Literally. Literally. What's also happening to my stream? It says not like this, but why? Why is that happening? Bro, what's up with them 2 votes, bro? This shit been done for like 10 minutes. See, I thought at some point they just force to accept whatever the no votes are. But these niggas are just literally stalling. Bro, these niggas have gotten an extra 10 plus minutes, bro. Move on with this shit. Accepted the Dems have the years right now. Instead of trying to see if you can get enough time to persuade the last person to hit that nay. These niggas having full-on conversations, bro. If they don't move on from this shit, bro. Two people cannot vote, if I remember correctly. Like, you could choose not to vote, I think, right? There is no war in Ba Sing Se. There is no war in Ba Sing Se. This dude says he's going back to the Senate, but the Senate doesn't have live video coverage. It doesn't say their joint's ongoing right now. Their session. This guy did a light jog to get up here. But he's just enjoying sitting in the seat up there. Look at him. Arm up on the armrest. Just enjoying himself.
On this vote, the yeas are 215, the nays are 215. The concurrent resolution is not adopted. Without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on.
Oh my goodness. It took this long for them to put them fucking, what was it? 2 votes? Alright, I think we're about to log things off anyway. And head on out of here. Start walking the dogs. And try to get to the gym earlier. So maybe we get straight a little bit earlier tonight. And actually play with our friends. You know, play some Smite or something. You know. Resolution 68. Thanks, unanimous consent that it be in order at any time to consider. Okay. Did the previous question be considered as ordered? Adoption without intervening motion except for an hour debate. Equally divided among.
The gentleman from Arizona seek recognition. Mr. Speaker, I send to the desk a resolution and ask for its immediate consideration.
House Resolution 1016, resolution directing the Clerk of the House of Representatives to make a correction in the engrossment of H.R. 7147.
Is there objection to the consideration of the resolution? Without objection, the resolution is agreed to and the motion to reconsider is laid on the table. The chair lays before the House a communication.
The Speaker's Rooms, Washington, D.C., January 22nd, 2026. I hereby designate the period from Thursday, January 22nd, 2026 through Sunday, February 1, 2026 as a district work period under Clause 13 of Rule 1. Signed sincerely, Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House of Representatives.
The chair will now entertain requests for 1-minute speeches. For what purpose does the gentleman from Pennsylvania seek recognition? Without objection, the gentleman is recognized for 1 minute.
Mr. Speaker, I rise today to celebrate 2 families that were awarded Century Farm status at the Pennsylvania Farm Show last week. Agriculture has a long history in the Commonwealth and has been one of the state's first industries. For the prosperity of the state, it's important to preserve these farms and pass them to the next generation. Pennsylvania leads the nation in the number of preserved farms, and the Century and Bicentennial Farm programs recognize the commitment and hard work that these families have endured to keep their farms in production. This year, 2 families from Pennsylvania's 15th Congressional District were presented with Century Farm status. Jeremiah Keck, a resident of DuBois family farm, dates back to 1860. Their farm and barn were built in 1931 and still used, and some historical photos of their farm are preserved in the Library of Congress. Their farm is one of 40 Century farms in Clearfield County. Scott and Cheryl Kenter from Smicksburg have farmed almost 100 acres of land since 1867. Indiana County has 56 Century farms. Mr. Speaker, I thank these families for their hard work and their dedication to the agriculture industry. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I yield back the balance of my time.
For what purpose does the gentleman from California seek recognition? Without objection, the gentleman is recognized for 1 minute.
All right.
Speaker,
Yeah, we're out of here because they're doing their 1 minute speeches.
my neighbor Helen Moraga's 100th birthday.
All right. It's been fun. It's been real. I can't stick around much longer. It's only been about 3 hours. But it's been a good time, not a long time. I hope you learned something today. And be smarter. Do your own research. Hear shit for yourself. Stay tuned. We'll be dropping some videos, don't worry. Kioskete, Anzani, Joshta, or Jamada if I see you later. I'll see y'all after the gym tonight. And check out for that. Wait out for that notification. Be safe out here. Hit that follow button. Hit that bell notification icon so you can stay up to date when we go live. I'll see y'all in the next one. Until the next one. This is the next one.